say, these are the areas in which the executive and the judiciary need to collaborate. What is wrong with that? But we've never taken that step. If you create an environment of suspicion, there shall be no progress. Suspicion is the enemy of progress. If you suspect every verdict, every decision of the executive, and assume that there is some motivating factor which is behind that decision, we are bound to falter. Remember, it's trust that is the first step to progress. And a nation that does not trust itself is doomed to failure. Today, India does not trust itself. And that's the tragedy of the corporate sector, of the judiciary, and of the executive. Thank you.
Sibal Saab, your enlightening thoughts on this very important topic has given our delegates and speakers of following sessions a lot of deliberate upon. I thank you for your graces, gracing the ASSOCHAM dais, sir. Any question you are requested me, so please. Yes.
Thank you, Minister. It was wonderful. I'm Yatinder Gupta from Sydney, Australia, and I'm heading ASSOCHAM activity in Australia. It's really a privilege to be here. Thanks, Ravati. I just got one feedback from Australia, and one is the communication part. I heard your trust issue. Trust cannot be built unless we have a communication. This is the bottom line of it. This is how I feel. But sitting as an NRI in Australia, we really feel so bad about when we have this issue like coal and say Commonwealth game and all those things. It hurts a lot and push back even not the foreigners but also NRIs there. So problems are there, but what are the solutions? This is the point. And I really thank you for your those issues which you said. Having a judiciary of expert, not the judiciary of the retired judges. This is a really wonderful idea. But if I may request one thing, that can we have some steps through the body like ASSOCHAM where we can bring a lot of businesses together from the country like Australia and India? Thank you.
Okay, I mean, I think there are, your intervention, you have made some comments and you've asked a question. Let me first answer the question. Your question is as to question about communication. You're absolutely right. In the absence of communication, you cannot build trust. There isn't any doubt. But I tell you what the real problems in India are. And I have great regard for the media in this country because they've done a lot of good to this country. But I think that the media has, to some extent, been responsible to build this environment of mistrust in this country. And the reason is very simple, and I don't blame the media for it. The reason is that instant news requires instant opinions. And what happens then is that in the absence of facts, if you continue to render those opinions in the public domain 24/7, you build, even though the issue can be easily resolved, and in fact the opinion may well be wrong, but there is no space for saying that and deliberating on it. And I think, therefore, it's time for us again to realize, again the media to also realize that they too are the fourth pillar of democracy and a very important pillar. And therefore the success of democracy also depends on the constructive approach they have to issues which they put in the public domain. And once that mistrust is created through the media, others sort of latch on to it. So I think that my request is that the nature of discourse in India must change. Otherwise, we are in for real trouble. And on the issue of ASSOCHAM, I think that yes, ASSOCHAM can be a platform for coalescing, different strains of thoughts and to bring business together to take us forward.
Give them a little time and they usually breed their own cure. Would you agree with that proposition in the context of whatever we're looking at today, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature, whether it would be able to breed its own cure?
No, it has to.
Yes.
So I think what we need to do is that we shouldn't be on a ventilator before it is sought to be resolved.
Make a brief comment, please.
Please.
I think you very rightly highlighted, virtually like the failure of arbitration in India, because it has become as expensive, if not more expensive than litigation, almost as prolonged, as litigation is. Therefore, what was supposed to be an alternate dispute resolution, people are already looking to alternatives, to arbitration. And in that context, what I'm submitting for your consideration is if one could promote mediation, as a form of settlement of disputes.
Oh, absolutely. I think that that's also part of our legal system now. Mediation, conciliation. I think if you have trust in mediators and conciliators, it's okay. But I think there's the absence of trust there as well. And you need trained people to go into remote corners of India and resolve issues. I think it's a very good idea. We should train people, and I think that is a way forward. But I think what we need is solutions at different levels. Like Lalit, you can't have mediation of a complex commercial matter. You can have mediation and conciliation in a small dispute in a rural area between families, and I think we need to encourage that. So we need those solutions at that level. We need expert panels at another level. We need commercial courts who do things day to day at another level, and we need a certain element of objectivity at another level. So I think we need these parallel solutions to take us all forward.
Thank you, sir, for your nice comments earlier. But one of the
I
questions...
don't think that we should give such a protection. We can't say that licenses will never be cancelled. And if you have obtained licenses in a manner that is suspect, they should be cancelled. Our only problem is not the cancellation of licenses which were suspiciously obtained, but cancellation of licenses is a matter of policy. That since all licenses were granted and the first come first served policy was bad, therefore we'll cancel all licenses. We're on that issue. We're not on the issue of individual licenses. If you obtain a license by fraud or by corruption, why should it not be cancelled? I mean, there's no need to protect that. And therefore, we need to make that distinction. Licenses obtained through wrongful means, there should be proceedings. Licenses cancelled because of a policy prescription, it's that brought down the investor confidence. But Rajkumar tells me here that the investor confidence is back, that the stocks of the telecom sector are rising, and the reason, and Pankaj will bear that out, and the reason is very simple, that we have enunciated 3 very important policies in the telecom sector. One is the IT policy, and then the telecom policy and the systems, designs and manufacturing policy. by which we are going to give fillip to manufacturing, and the policy prescriptions are very clear. And therefore, the industry is realizing that, one, there is great depth in the market, and that the market needs the kind of investment, and therefore everybody is here to benefit. And I have also proposed, and this is something that I am very keen on, 100% FDI in the telecom sector. The Telecom Commission has supported that. I saw a statement in the newspaper today with respect to that. And I think that if we can get that through, we will get at least $10 billion in foreign direct investment in the telecom sector alone in the years to come. So I think the story of telecom is in revival mode, right? And I have no problems on it. But on your question on licenses, my clear thinking on that is wrongful licenses cannot be obtaining license through the wrongful means cannot be protected and should not be protected.
Mr. Minister, we've been talking about trust deficit. What do you think?
It is built how? It's built through individuals and entities and institutions trusting each other. You must assume, judiciary must assume, that we sitting here are actually attempting to do good to the people of India. We must assume that the judiciary sitting there is actually attempting to do good to the people of India. And we must assume that the corporate sector sitting here is wanting to do good to the people of India, right? Now, if the income tax officer suspects every individual, if the judiciary suspects the executive suspects the judiciary, and the media suspects everybody, then nothing will work. And that's the situation that we are in today. Nobody trusts anybody, right? When you are in power, you trust the CBI. When you are out of power, you mistrust the CBI. You can't do that. You see, when you are this side, you say, oh, no, we must have this, GST must be passed. Right? When you are that side, you will oppose it. This cannot be. Take education. I had several bills in Parliament on education. Now, education is not a political issue. Right? It's really to bring quality institutions into the country, to bring objectivity in the system, to make sure that these institutions don't charge under the table, have one examination for young students in India so they don't have to go, Why was there opposition to all this? Why? Because vested interests do not want this to happen. If there is only one exam, then all this tuition and all the stuff that people make, it's a 15,000 crore industry. The 15,000 crore industry does not benefit, so it opposes the one single exam. Right? If I want to bring accreditation and quality and certification in the education sector, the fact of the matter is, and I don't want to say it publicly, I am saying it publicly despite that, right? Who are the ones who are setting up institutions in this country? Please ask yourself. Who have nothing to do with education. And then they oppose these laws, and political parties get behind them. Why? Because they are deeply involved in it. So how do you resolve these issues? And I therefore started on a conceptual note that we need to distance ourselves from our own interest. The day we start distancing ourselves from our own interest, there will be order in society.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister sir, for truly,
What
as
is the second
usual,
part?
and very outstanding speech.
Curb the judicial.
Honorable Minister sir,
No. See, there is no need to curb anything. No. See, this will resolve itself. I think that within the judiciary there is also a realization. Otherwise, the 5-bench judge, the reference would not have been answered in our favor. So there is, every ailment has a cure within itself. I mean, like the antibodies in your body help you to deal with fever.